I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know where to begin. To begin with, I feel at home for two reasons. I always felt at home in an academic environment. I always felt this is where I belong to. And being in that environment again makes me feel the feeling of being at home. Second reason that I feel at home, because Peking University is my home. I am part of you because you accepted me as an honorary professor. I'm sorry that I couldn't spend much time with you, but I always hoped I could spend time with you and share with you all the excitements of the academic world and the world that you want to create for future generations. That's our task in the academic environment, to build the future world, not just learning about the current world. It's the next world that we want to prepare for. So that makes me feel completely at home. Your Excellency Hu Guangchai and Mr. Kong Chuan, esteemed deans and faculty members, distinguished dignitaries, officials and guests, and my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great humility and profound gratitude that I stand before you today in this prestigious institution, Peking University, the center of knowledge, wisdom, innovation, and excellence. To receive an honorary doctorate from such an esteemed university is a great honor for anyone. And I feel so humbled by your gesture for choosing me for this particular honor. This recognition once again reminds me of my commitment to work for realizing the dreams of the millions of youths who were the vanguards of the transformational changes in Bangladesh just last year. Their vision to establish a new Bangladesh in place of the Bangladesh that we had until last year. A new Bangladesh which will be free from poverty, hunger, unemployment, and destitution. Ladies and gentlemen, and my young friends, to translate this vision into reality, we are embarked on a series of reforms to make governance transparent and democratic, to ensure economic policies which are inclusive, and to guarantee that every individual has equal opportunity to flourish. Our reform initiatives are at the top of our priority. Our goal is definite. Our work plan is exhaustive. For building a stronger and more resilient Bangladesh, we emphasize economic transformation through entrepreneurship, greater investment in education and technology, and a stronger international cooperation. Distinguished guests, I have a deep and personal attachment with Peking University. Back in October 2006, I had the opportunity to be appointed as the honorary professor. To me, today's conferment is more than a personal honor. I see this as a recognition, as an acknowledgement of the resilience and courage and determination of the people, especially millions of women and young entrepreneurs who continue to prove that no challenge is too big when they are given the right opportunities to develop and break the shackles of poverty and marginalization. Throughout my journey, from being an economist to founding Grameen Bank, from pioneer microfinance to advocating social business, my core belief has remained the same. People are not poor because they lack of skill or ambition. They are poor because the economic system has never given them a fair chance. So poverty is not because of the something lacking in the person. It's not their fault. It's the fault of the system that we built for ourselves. That causes poverty. That causes all the problems for human beings by wrong thinking. And I blame myself for being part of that institution, academic institution, where we pass on this wrong knowledge to the next generation. So I plead guilty that we have not been able to change those ideas, wrong ideas, which make people suffer. So my struggle has always been to go back, to find out the faults in the system that we promote, we teach the young generation, so that we do not repeat the same thing for the next generation. It is designed to serve only the wealthy, not the poor. That realization led me to create an alternative, one where even the poorest individuals could access the services of the institutions which are created for people. I've been promoting the idea to let the young people come to the universities, get good degrees from good institutions, and then go to the job market to become job seekers. I have been telling that this is a wrong idea. Human beings are not born to become job seekers. Job is a wrong idea. Human beings are creative beings. They enjoy doing creative things. Job is a negation of creativity. Job forces you to do things what your supervisors want you to do. Job is a continuation of the tradition of slavery. Human beings are not fit for slavery. Human beings are independent beings. So I keep on promoting the idea that all human beings are born as entrepreneurs, not job seekers. Universities should be preparing young people to go out and become successful entrepreneurs, not job seekers. And that idea came from a simple experience. I started as a small initiative with a handful of women in a village next to the university where I was teaching in Bangladesh. I started lending tiny little money to the poorest women that the world has ever known, just to make sure she feels that she can handle this money and change her life. I had no idea that whether it would come true, but I was amazed how these illiterate, poor women could use tiny little money, $10, $20 worth of money, and did a very successful way of paying back and change her income situation. And she continued to pursue that round after round and change her life. And it turned into millions of women all over Bangladesh, and with perfect record. That convinced me totally. All human beings are entrepreneurs, because we are taught in the textbooks only very special people are born as entrepreneurs. Rest of us human beings have to serve under them. I said, that's absolutely wrong idea. If the poorest illiterate women in Bangladesh can become an entrepreneur with a $20 loan, $30 loan, anybody in the world can become an entrepreneur. It's nature to human beings. We didn't train them. We didn't tell them how to run a business. She figured it out all by herself, because it is innate part of a human being. So that continues with a bigger question to me. What should be the purpose of education? And I keep coming back. Purpose of education is to enable to go out and bring that all creative capacity to change the world. And universities and educational institutions is not only a place to learn what happened, also imagine. Imagination is the greatest power on earth. If you imagine, it will happen. If you don't imagine, it will never happen. If you look back, things happen because somebody imagined it. Imagine something big, something unheard of, something you never dared to hope that it will work. But you imagine and stay with it. If you stay with it, it will happen. So that is the greatest power. Imagination is more powerful than anything you can bring together. So I follow that, encourage young people like you, along with what you are learning, imagine. Dare to imagine the most odd thing that you ever thought, most necessary thing you think could be done. At the moment it looks odd, at the moment it looks impossible. The human journey is about making impossible possible. That's our journey. And we can make that happen. Then I came to my other point. Why the way we do things followed by something that we are not sure of? This civilization that we are passing through, will it help us to overcome the problems that we face? Problem of environmental crisis, problems of extreme wealth concentration, problem of massive unemployment, answer was always no. This civilization will continue to make it worse and worse. I even dare to say this is a self-destructive civilization. We have no scapegoat. We have to build a new civilization as soon as possible. Abandon the civilization that we are passing through and move on to create a new civilization. And I ask myself, what will be the future of that civilization? The answer to me is very clear. That civilization must know that there is no environment that has us left anymore. And that can be done with just creating a financial system, creating an economic system which doesn't depend on creating carbon emission. Carbon emission is going to kill us, so we have to get rid of carbon emission. We have to make sure there is no wealth concentration. We have to make sure there is no unemployment. So I come up with a simple formula by saying we have to create a civilization of 3 zeros. 0 net carbon emission, 0 wealth concentration, and 0 unemployment. Sounds very reasonable, but to work it out, you have to abandon the old thinking process. You have to create a world where each human being will be given an opportunity not only to express his selfish interest, also selfless interest, and create not only money-making business, create business to solve problem without any intention of making money yourself. We call it social business. So we have a series of ideas how to create this new civilization. And now I pass it on to the young people between age of 12 to 35 to create what we call 3-0 clubs. 5 young people get together, create a small, tiny club, 3-0 club. What do? Each person, each member of that club commits to undertake a new journey of life. I shall not contribute to global warming myself. I'm not saying the whole world should do that. I'm saying to myself, I do not want to contribute to carbon emission. How? If I do it now, 7 days a week, I promise to do it 6 days a week. If I achieve 6 days a week, I want to do it 5 days a week. If I achieve 5 days a week, gradually 2 days a week, 1 day a week, and nothing. So I become a 3-0 person. Idea is if I can become a 3-0 person, you can become a 3-0 person, world would be a 3-0 world. That's a simple idea. And I'm amazed by the response I get from the young people all around the world. They keep on adding numbers, 3-0 clubs. I hope you'll consider examining whether you'd like to form your 3-0 club and create a new civilization, which you'll be proud of. This is an imagination, but the imagination is where the journey begins. Let's begin the journey. Thank you very much.